Thank you so much for being here today. I will have the pleasure to show you the amazing results that we have found while scrutinizing the org charts of the largest companies in the world. What do we call a large company? As you know, Fortune magazine every year is ranking the largest companies in the world. The largest one is Walmart, revenue-wise, and Walmart is about the size of the Walmart's revenues is about the size of the 25th economy in the world, namely Belgium. Now, when you take the 16 largest companies, the 16 largest companies' revenue is about the size of the GDP of Germany, the fourth economy, and Germany, as you know, with its 16 landers. So, to make it simple, each of the large company is huge. It's about the size of a German landers. If you look at the total number of companies worldwide, it's about 800 million companies. When you take the 70,000 largest companies, they each make about $100 million plus. They are not, of course, of the size of a German lander, yet they generate about 2/3 of the total revenues, so they are huge also. This is why at the official board, we are tracking the leaders of those extremely successful companies. What do we mean by the leaders? We mean the board of directors with the CEO, the people reporting to the CEOs, what is called the N-1, and the people reporting to the executives reporting to the CEOs, which are the N-2. Why I have been spending so much time looking at that? I am really just stunned by the dynamics of the org charts and the information that they can carry. Let me give you 3 examples. When a big company nominates a VP transformation, when a large company hires a superstar VP digital, or will take, as Apple did not so long ago, a VP automotive, I guess we all guess what is going to happen in those companies. What is even more amazing is that we have been looking at those companies for almost 10 years now, that it's the same year after year. About 1/3 of the executives will switch to another position, either inside the company or outside the company, within just 12 months. In other words, the CEOs of the companies are just redistributing very often the roles and just make sure that they adapt to the very big competition they are in. So now let's look at the methodology. So we did it very simply. We took all the companies in the world making over $100 million. We have found for each of them the executives reporting to the CEOs. And then we have listed only the ones for which we could find over 500 business titles that were similar. And what we discovered, and we were extremely surprised, is that 12 roles were virtually non-existent 3 years ago. And so what can we learn out of that, and what are those roles? The first roles that we have found were around revenue development. The first one, not too surprisingly, is VP data. What is VP data? VP data is supposed to help and to develop the data usage within the companies. The best examples are, of course, Google or Amazon. The second most present role is VP revenue. So what is a VP revenue? A VP revenue is someone who is going to look at the analytics to increase the revenues. The best examples or the most advanced examples are in hotels or are in the airlines. The third one is VP growth. And VP growth is happening in companies with usually historical large market share that they want to grasp a new market. Two good examples could be Microsoft or could be Coca-Cola. They have set that type of functions. And the last one, perhaps the one I prefer the most, is VP customer success. So what do we mean by that? VP customer success is coming from the idea that it is more profitable to develop the existing customers and to develop the usages of the products for the existing customers rather than trying to get new customers. Now, when we compare the situation between the US or the global market and Europe, we can see those differences. First, the VP customer success almost do not exist in Europe. Where it does exist worldwide is mainly in the large B2B software companies, such as, let's say, Amazon Web Services, or in what we could call VC-backed unicorns, so the large companies backed by VCs. For the rest, it's about the same. So we talk about revenue. Let's talk about corporate development. In corporate development, we have noticed that there were 4 roles that were, or 4 types of skills that were growing very fast in those large corporations. The first one, not too surprisingly again, is VP Digital. VP Digital is happening in virtually all industries, whether it's luxury, whether it's retail, whether it's pharma industry, so it's all over. Okay. VP Digital is about getting additional revenues, of course, from the digital channels. The second one is VP Innovation. I guess we had yesterday with Claudia Nema from Deutsche Telekom a good insight of what it can mean in a large company. What is VP Innovation? VP Innovation is about developing partnerships or developing projects inside projects or developing incubators to foster innovation within large regulated workforces. And this is happening mostly in insurance, in telecom, and in banks. The third most present in this category is VP Transformation. VP Transformation is about transforming or changing the processes or changing the organizations. It's mostly happening in large corporations, in corporations with huge workforces that they need to that they need to rebalance. And the last one is VP Venture. So VP Venture, I guess many around at NOAH, VP Venture is really about partnering with investment funds or with startups to catch new technologies or to catch or to integrate successful startups. Good examples, and the best example right now, are in the pharma industries, where those big companies, they are trying to bring in biotechnologies companies from all around the world. So, third one. The third one, sorry, let's compare that first with Europe. So in Europe, it's about the same approach. The only thing that is switching is that VP Transformation is more present in Europe than it is elsewhere in the world. I don't know whether it's because of the social regulation in Europe or because of something else, but those are what we have looked upon when collecting the data. Third one, asset development. So here again, we are ranking in this category the most present roles. Not too surprisingly, the most present role in this category is VP Regulation. As we know, regulation is popping up in many different fields, whether it's banking, whether it's internet, whether it's health, whether it's food. So it's really happening in all the companies worldwide. The second category is VP Talent. So what is VP Talent? VP Talent is about providing the right compensation, the right benefits, and to make sure that everyone is in the right, every person is in the right position in his company. So it's about the organizations. There is no, it's really based on there is no pattern on this. It is happening in different companies. I have taken the example of Nestlé, who is really doing a great job in, that, in this. The third one is VP Information Security. I don't know whether it's because of the high number of hackings that were strongly publicized, or whether it's because of the growing fines around that. Yet that VP Information Security is a growing role, again, reporting to the CEOs. And the last one, perhaps the one I prefer, I guess it was Al Gore talking about it yesterday. It's VP culture. So what is VP culture? You know, it can look a bit as a bullshit, or a bit as a kind of way to look good, but it's go much beyond that. It's really a strategic difference. When you look at the end of the day, what is defining a company, what is really unifying a workforce, is really the culture. And especially in very highly competitive markets, those are the only differences that will remain at the end. So, how do we do in Europe? So, in Europe, to make it simple, we almost have no VP culture. Those roles are mostly taken as a mission for the VP HR. And we are clearly stronger in terms of presence on VP Information Security. I don't know whether it's because of GDPR or because of whatever, but those are the facts. So, summary. So, as you have seen, we have spotted different 12 roles, and some roles are present in almost all industries. So it's a case for VP Data or VP Digital. Some roles are really dedicated in some industries. So if you are looking for some talents, this is perhaps the place to find them, which is the most advanced. We have talked about VP Revenue. We have talked about VP Growth. So those are really located in a few industries. And finally, we have some roles which are really dedicated, which are really located based on the company culture. You know, it's something, as we discussed, with VP customers or VP talent. So, my conclusion is, perhaps as a takeaway, is first, personally, and I'm just stunned how org charts can help to understand the CEO's priorities. You know, those org charts are moving in real time, and they are mostly public. It's just about collecting those information and organizing this information, and it's a good way to evaluate that. Okay. Second thing is that we have seen at the top of those org charts new talents required by the CEOs. So those talents are, and why is it the case? It's that because when you are a CEO, you have 6, 8, 10 direct reports. So the way you select those roles is, of course, essential for your for getting the results you expect for your company, and also in some cases just to make sure that you survive to the next quarter or to the next year. So the highest the highest growth are in data, in digital, in regulation, and in information security. And what is considered as the most profitable roles for the revenue-wise or for the bottom line, those are revenue, customer success, and growth. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure to discuss with you. And I will be available after the presentation if you need anything else. And the presentation will be also available on our website, so don't hesitate to if you need a copy. Thank you so much.